Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Paws in Pursuit podcast with your host Summer Clark. Now today is the long-awaited live Q&A that I did on the weekend. It was so much fun. Thank you to all of you that came. I think there was 75 of you that came. But yeah, it was so much fun. I answered all of your questions and, well, I hope I answered all your questions in a sufficient manner, but I think I did, and it was really fun chatting to you all, really funny, had some laughs, it was great, and there was more of you that turned up than I thought, which was amazing. I'd definitely like to do another one, so if you'd like to see another one, definitely let me know, but I'm not going to make this intro too long because the live Q&A is an hour long. But considering I got stuck in traffic and had to postpone it for 15 minutes, it actually went really well. Wasn't a good start, but it went great. And I will let you listen to that right now. But first, weekly recap. So first things first, I'm going to be brief because I say a lot of it in the Q&A. But I went to an osteopath for my back and oh my God, it was amazing. He gave great advice, sports massage, it was amazing. But I talk about it in the live Q&A. So you'll have to wait to hear more about that. I was also a guest on a podcast for the first time. It's Martha Preece's podcast called All Over the Place. So that will be going live shortly. If you want to listen to me talk on another podcast, then go and follow her podcast. I binge watched all her current episodes already a few weeks ago when it came out. I love her podcast so much. It's not agility related necessarily, just life in general, but we do touch on agility. So definitely I'm excited for that to come out. So definitely go and follow her podcast. And I believe that is everything. I think there's some more spots still available on my training day with Nikki Hodgson at Unleash Potential in Leeds in April next year. So if you want to come along and do that, then make sure to PM Nikki or me and get yourself a spot. I also have some really exciting news. I'll be finding more out about it tomorrow evening. So I'm so excited about this. But again, I'm sorry, I can't tell you all about it quite yet, but it is coming very shortly. You'll be sure to hear about it if you follow me on the socials. Now, I would just like to take a minute to introduce you guys to the podcast sponsor, Huel. So here I have one of the ready to drink Huel meals, the berry flavour. Huel ready to drink is a meal in a bottle with over 20 grams of protein. It really is the perfect meal for when you're on the go. You don't need to sacrifice convenience or nutrition, you can have both with ready to drink. Each serving has 26 vitamins and minerals. This means every bottle of ready to drink has 175 health benefits. It is made from natural ingredients such as coconut, sunflower seeds, tapioca, pea protein, flax seeds and hemp seed protein. Every meal is vegan and it has no gluten, no palm oil, no GMO, no lactose and no animal products whatsoever. It comes in 8 delicious flavours including iced coffee caramel and strawberries and cream, as well as the classics like vanilla, chocolate and banana. It is absolutely delicious and just tastes like a milkshake. It is widely sold in supermarkets, petrol stations and corner shops around the UK, and it can be conveniently purchased online. I found out about Huel because I was looking for a product that would give me all the nutrients that I need while travelling to events and staying over at competitions and training events. So when it's time to refuel and have a meal, I can just drink a ready to drink Huel product and get all my nutrients quickly, easily and without cooking. It's perfect when I don't have the time or the facilities to cook. For example, when I'm camping at a competition, I'm going to be drinking at least one a day at KCI and Dogs in Need. If you're super busy, just like me, then you really don't want to miss out. You can easily and conveniently shop ready to drink from Huel at the link uk.huel.com/paws. I hugely appreciate anyone and everyone that uses my link as it helps keep this podcast running, and every sale through that link helps keep my podcast going. Buying through my link also gets you a free t-shirt which will be auto applied at the checkout. If you subscribe to a Huel order, you can save 10%. You can choose how often your subscription comes, for example every 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, etc. And these are super easy to manage on the website and you can edit whenever you like. uk.huel.com/paws. I think that is everything for the weekly recap. So without further ado, let's get into the Q&A. Courses with more distance or with more skills? Again, it depends what grade. It depends what grade. So for I'd say distance really for agility at this time in the modern day. I would definitely say distance is more important, not only for safety, but it's just the way agility is going. Incorporates handler fitness a little bit as well. But obviously for your like 6, 7 and champ and stuff like that, then you are going to want skills. Do you know what I mean? Like for a 6, 7 or champ, you're not just going to want
a steeplechase, for example. So you'd have your distance, but then it's not really a 6-7-0 champ without skills. So both, ideally. And I mean, that's the perfect course really, isn't it? Both. I have a podcast episode with Neil that was all about iconics, and we did talk a little bit about courses like this. That was a while ago now. But you'll have to scroll through and have a look for that episode. And then tomorrow, as most of you have probably seen, I've got a podcast episode with Demi Wright, and we're going to be talking about junior judging and course design. So we'll be talking more about that as well. But yeah, if I had to choose, it'd be distance for safety as well. But you can't have one without the other, really. Like, the ideal course has both. So yeah, if I had to choose, it'd be distance. But you need both when you're going up into the high grades. That is my long-winded answer. Hey, Rory. Oh my God, I've got too many to keep up with. Okay. How did you train running contacts? Do you want me to cry on this live stream? How did I train running contacts? Mat. I used a mat. And Arrow is now 4 and it's still not perfect. His A-frame's fine. If you do the dog walk and then the A-frame, like, no problem with the A-frame. But the dog walk, I started with the mat. And then once he understood the mat on the plank, on the full dog walk, I changed to, I didn't change, I kept the mat there, but I added a stride regulator on the second slat of the down plank. And that is what did it for him. Like, he just changed. As soon as I got the stride regulator in place, that changed him really. Like, his stride, he was doing really short strides basically. And although he was doing his 2 strides, which he was meant to do, they were too short. So the stride regulator obviously lengthened them. And also with him, the faster he's going, the deeper he hits basically. So the stride regulator, adding that was a game changer. And now at training, I don't use the mat at all. I still put the stride regulator on in training. But yeah, stride regulator all the way. I've heard from a few people that they've just ditched the mat and just done the stride regulator straight away, which is interesting. So that's something I might have to think about with a puppy, but that's a while away. Don't get any ideas. So yeah, that's how I train running contacts. But it was hard. It's rewarding in the end, but it was hard. Okay, favourite conditioning exercise for dogs. So I've recently been taking Arrow to SJT physio, so to Sammy Toe. And she's brilliant. She's given me some strength conditioning exercises for Arrow, just to keep him in good shape. What was I doing? They're very new. I've only done a couple of sessions so far with him, but I put it on my story, I think it was yesterday. And you've got your, sit to stand, but keeping the back legs in place, which Arrow finds really hard because he likes to fidget and move about. And then I ordered some cones off Amazon, so the 2 cones with the pole in the middle. And then getting him to stand over the pole and then walk forward. And you want to have a look at what back leg they put forward first over the pole, if that makes sense. And you want them to alternate. So say you do 4 repetitions, you want it to be left, right. Does that make sense? And then a figure of 8 where he's standing sideways next to the pole. And then he puts so if the pole's on his left, he puts his left front foot over, then his right front foot, then his left back foot, and then his right back foot, if that makes sense. And he really struggles with that because it has to be really slow. So I hold his collar to help him. But I really like that one because it teaches him like proprioception, awareness of where his legs are, which for a dog like Arrow, as you probably know, he doesn't really know where his body is in space. As much as it looks like he doesn't. He's a buffoon, basically, in the nicest possible way. So those are 3 exercises. And then the other one that you probably thought, what on earth is she doing? Is I make him stand square on a plank, so on a contact trainer I was using. And then because he has a slight weaker left hind leg, I slightly push his right thigh, if that makes sense, in that area for 3 seconds so that he's weight shifting onto his weaker leg, the left leg, and then let go, like suddenly, and then he weight shifts back onto, balances himself. And then the other one is lifting his right leg up and making him weight shift onto the left and then putting it down and repeating that a few times. So they're the current conditioning exercises I'm doing with him. But as he gets more experienced, I'll probably do more stuff like wobble cushion, wobble board, stuff like that. But you got to be careful. You don't want to overload them. You don't want to fatigue. You want them to be progressively overloading, but gradually, again, to avoid injury. So they're the conditioning exercises I'm doing with him at the moment. Buddy has been DNA tested as a poodle cross shih tzu, but I think he's a border terrier cross. Can you let me know your thoughts? Oh, that's interesting because I've always had this sounds really snobby, but I've always had purebred dogs, like pedigree dogs, if that makes sense. Like I had 2 Border Terriers and now I've got Arrow, who's a full Spaniel, so I've never really had to think about it. Do you just think he looks like a Border Terrier then? Is that what makes you think he's a Border Terrier cross? Because if he's been DNA tested and it says Poodle Shih Tzu, surely that's right. Like, I don't know how accurate DNA tests are because I've never had to do one, but I would probably trust the DNA test. Shih Tzus, I suppose, with their short snouts can maybe appear like Border Terriers when crossed with something else, I guess, because, like I said, the short snouts. But yeah, apart from looks, is there any other thing that you think makes him a Border Terrier cross? But yeah, definitely. He has colours, face, everything. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how expensive DNA tests are, but if they're affordable, maybe do another one from a different, like, brand. Do you get brands of DNA testing? Yeah, so maybe, like, do another one. I always think, like, get a second opinion if you're not sure the first time. And then if it's the same result, you know it's right. If it's a different result, then you've got another answer. But yeah, his whole personality is terrier. Cost me £80. Oh, £80, okay. See, yeah, I probably wouldn't get another one then. That's the only way to know really though, isn't it? Do another DNA test from a different type of brand of DNA testing or place you send it off to, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's really interesting. Poodle Shih Tzu. That's really interesting. I don't see how a poodle would be anything like a Border Terrier, but Shih Tzu I can kind of see with the face. But yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, if you can't do another DNA test, I really don't know. My dog sometimes is really good, sometimes is unreliable. I think it's down to anxiety. Any tips? Okay, I need to know a bit more about the behaviour that they're showing, if that makes sense. Like, what makes you think it's anxiety? What are the behaviour signs in the ring? Is it in training versus competition, if that makes sense? Yeah, I need to know a little bit more. But if it is anxiety, then Arrow was exactly the same, and you've just got to keep going. I know it sounds harsh, but like working through it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'd just keep showing up to training and competitions, keep making your dog work through it. And eventually, that's what I did with Arrow, and eventually he realised there's nothing to worry about. And his anxiety pretty much went away. And to be honest, he's still a sensitive dog. It hasn't gone completely, but he's so much better than he was. So yeah, I need to know a little bit more to give better tips than that. But my main tip for anxiety in the ring is just keep working through it. And also I think a lot of people don't realise, and me and Kamal spoke about this in our recent podcast episode, but take your dog to sort of other places outside of agility, if that makes sense, to increase their confidence. So when they go to agility, they've already got that foundation of confidence there, if that makes sense. So those are my main 2 tips without knowing more. But if you have more information, then feel free to let me know. Hello, Amelia. Everyone makes fun of him for being a poodle and everyone says he's border. That's so interesting. I need to stalk your account because I can't see from the... yeah, I'm looking at the profile picture a little bit and I get what you mean. Yeah, either do another DNA test or live with it, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I haven't had that problem. Maybe one day I'll have a crossbreed. Do you think? Let me know if you think I should get a crossbreed. I would probably... If I got a crossbreed, I'd probably... I don't know. I love collie poodles, look cool. Collie cockers look cool. Collie paps look cool. Can you see the theme here? Maybe I should just get a collie at this point. A little one, though, because my house isn't that big. Okay, Obi. Any tips for handler nerves? I'm very new to competing. Oh, it's moved. Any tips for handler nerves? I'm very new to competing, been to 3 shows, and I feel like I'm going to be sick and faint when I'm waiting the queue. Yeah, I used to have that, and I still have it a little bit, to be honest. I still get nervous, especially if it's like a qualifier or an event like Crufts or something. I still get the sick feelings, but because it's so normal now, I kind of just learned to live with it, if that makes sense, and try and think of it as excitement, like placebo. So in your mind, be like, oh, that's just excitement. Does that make sense? I know it sounds stupid. But if you've only been to a few shows, then no wonder. 3 shows, then I'm not surprised you feel like that. I think everyone does when it means a lot to you. But the more experience you have and the more shows you go to, the less important the little shows seem. So, for example, me, the more I've done and the more big things I've done, the less sort of the everyday show kind of makes me nervous, if that makes sense. it doesn't feel like such a big deal. So the tips for handler nerves is, again, a bit like the dog nerves. Keep going, like keep working through it, basically. Just keep getting more experience under your belt, and eventually it will fade off. You'll never get rid of it completely, or I haven't, and I've been doing agility for, 11 years, just over. So it never fully goes away, but yeah, just keep working through it. And just remember as well that every show, like, it just goes away, doesn't it? Like, in a year's time, you probably won't even remember the show you were so nervous about. Does that make sense? I know it's hard, but, like, I'd say those are my main tips. What's your goals for 24 with Mr. A? Oh, interesting. So, because he still had some issues, I want to sort the issues first. Does that make sense? So his seesaw, for example, I still class as an issue. Yes, he's 4, but yes, he's had a hard time, bless him, hasn't he, with everything that's happened. So my main goal is to get a really good, confident, consistent seesaw, and he's getting there, but it's just taking so long. It's just annoying. But anyway, we're going to just keep going, obviously, and get that seesaw. So a consistent, confident seesaw in the ring is my main goal. By the end of 24, I want that to be a thing. Competing at Crufts in March, so my goal for that is to get a podium place. I believe I'm in 4 classes, I hope. I know I'm in 3, waiting for points for obviously ABC. I actually submitted those quite early. I was quite impressed. Thanks to shout out Millie for reminding me. But yeah, waiting on that, but hopefully we've got enough because he has done pretty well, bless him. So hopefully 4 events, and my goal for Crufts is to get a podium position at least once, basically. Ideally winning, but obviously I'm not sure. I can't remember the rules. I'm a bit of a fake fan with the YKC at the moment. I can't remember if they're all heights combined or not, some of them, like they were last time. So if they are, then just a podium place would be great because large collies, you know how it is. But yeah, podium once at Crufts, that's a goal. I don't know if I have anything else going on. I would like to qualify for... I don't even know how the Olympia works anymore. I'd like to qualify for... So I'd like to do the Olympia qualifier and qualify for the next stage. Does that make sense? So semi-final, I'm guessing. I'd like to qualify for the Olympia semi-final. And obviously I'd like to get to actual Olympia. That's not Olympia, but you know what I mean. But baby steps, okay? So first of all, the first step, because we haven't done it before, is qualify for the next stage in the Olympia process after the first qualifier. That would be nice. Obviously qualify for Crufts in at least one class for 2025. That's always a yearly goal. And I can't think of anything else. Potentially his diamond warrant, because he's got his platinum now. So I'd like him to get his diamond warrant, and then he's got all of them. I think he's about 300 points off. So that is probably doable in a year. So that's another one. And I think that, independent weaves. Again, more of a training goal. But his weaves, I'd say at the moment, his main issues are weaves and seesaw. So his seesaw is just not confident. He's fine at training, but in the ring, it freaks him out still. So we're just going to keep going. And then weaves, because I've always had to baby him because he was so nervous. I never really taught him proper sort of independence in the weaves, if that makes sense. So he's always kind of just expected me to be there. And if I'm really far away or like in his way or doing blinds or anything around him while he's in the weaves, he kind of goes, what the heck? For example, I was at training, not this week, but the last Wednesday, and I had to do a blind like quite close at the end of the weaves. And he came out the 10th every time. Like, he hated it. Like, he couldn't do it because I was, like, moving so suddenly and I was kind of in his space. So, basically, just consistent weaves no matter where I am. That's a big goal as well. I actually need to set my weaves up in my garden, get my arse in gear, pull my finger out. I hate setting equipment up, by the way. But once it's up, I love training, obviously. But the setting the equipment up with my bad back as well is a nightmare. So, tomorrow I might do that. I'll keep you updated if I do. I'll be like, look, guys, I put the weaves up. But I need to practice more weaves. So, yeah, they're my main goals that I can think of. Maybe I'm missing out some events. Obviously, I want to qualify for Crufts in the main arena. Like, that is something I would love to do. But not necessarily for 2025. I think Arrow's going to be a dog that is better when he's, like, 7, probably. I know that sounds funny, but, yeah. So I'm not rushing him into it because I feel like he'll be better in the environment of the main arena at Crufts when he's older. So maybe not necessarily like a goal for this year, but just in the future. So yeah, smallish goals for 2024, but gradually getting towards the bigger ones in the end. Are you going to Open Showcase / goals in the selection process? Yes, I'm going to the Open Showcase. But again, this sounds so negative. I'm so sorry, but I'm not expecting... It's hard, isn't it? Because it's in the UK, so they're going to take a bigger team. I assume. Don't quote me. So, I think he can do it. I think he can make the team. But I also know that he's not going to be at his best this year. Like I said, I think he's going to be better when he's like 7 or even 8. Because, he's so structurally sound. He's so fit. He loves it so much. I just think he needs to get his head in gear a bit more. And it's going to come with age, I think, and maturity. So I don't know. I'd like to... Okay, we'll say it like this with Olympia then. I'd like to go to Open Showcase and get through to the pre-selection qualifier. If that makes sense. That's really the goal, isn't it? I'm not going to say get on the team because it requires a lot of consistency that I'm not sure he has on courses like that yet. So yeah, for Open Showcase, I'd like to get through to the next stage, the first stage after Open Showcase. That's really my only goal at this point. And then if he does, then my next goal would be, do you know what I mean? To get to the next one and then on the team. But I don't want to give us this massive goal that would add loads of pressure because honestly I don't think he's at his best yet, like for this year's team, if that makes sense. Like I feel like he'd be a more valuable member of Team GB in a few years' time, I believe. But we'll give it a go. We'll see. I know he can do things, but again, with his confidence, and he just loses his head a bit because he loves it so much. He loses his head, and the mixture of a bit of anxiety and just excitement is just a lot for both of us. So yeah. I'd like to get through to the PSQ after Open Showcase, and that's all I'm really going to say for now. Obviously, one day I want him to get on Team GB, but I'm not really going to say it needs to happen this year. Again, I think he'll be better in some years to come. Border Terriers or Spaniels? Generally not just agility, Spaniels. I hate how certain I was about that. I'm so sorry, Border Terriers. Border Terriers are very stubborn. Earl and Ethel were so hard. And yes, Arrow's been really hard, but Ethel was great and she was consistent, as was Earl. Earl had Arrow's issues, if that makes sense. He was really nervous. He got to grade 6. He was 0.1 seconds within the course time when he went grade 6. And I was jumping up and down, being like, oh my God. I think it was Em Pullen that gave me a really weird look back then. She was looking at me because I was jumping up and down screaming at my mum because Earl made grade 6. But he was really nervous and stubborn and he was so hard to motivate, so hard, harder than Arrow to get drive, obviously, even when Arrow was really sensitive and nervous. Earl just wasn't a fan. I retired him quite early, bless him. Ethel was brilliant. Obviously, I was on Team GB with her 3 years in a row, and Team UK 2 years in a row. She peaked in between 2017 and 2019. Ethel was in her prime. She was great. And then she ended up losing her contacts. Can't really tell you why, still to this day. I had a few people say that it sometimes happens to dogs if they're a bit uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So, if whether it was a joint thing, the decline of A-frames and dog walks, and then obviously the sudden bang and jolt of the seesaw when it hits the floor might have caused her pain, so she was avoiding it. So that might have been a factor, and I did end up retiring her because I could just physically see she wasn't comfortable, she was measuring more than usual, and stuff like that. And you kind of know, don't you? You look at your dog and you think, yeah, I'm not going to make you do this anymore. I mean, she loved it, but I could just see, for her own good, that it wasn't going to do her body any more good, so I retired her. But she was so stubborn. She argued with me the whole way round. Like I said, she pinged her contacts. And it's she knows. It's she used to know. I made a TikTok video about it, To the Untouchable by Little Mix, of her, jumping off the dog walk contact, literally this much before the contact line. So that was great. But she was very hard work. Again, it probably didn't look like it. She did seem quite consistent, but she was hard work. She was very hard work. And every run, me and my friends would be like, is she going to get it? No one knows, on the video. And Arrow, yes, he's been probably more hard work than Ethel in his nervy ways. But the thing with Spaniels is I just think that they just would do anything for you. All Arrow wants to do is please me. He's desperate. And, I'll get up like I remember I spoke to Becky Colley about this ages ago, like a few years ago, and she found it really weird that my Border Terriers didn't like jump off the sofa and follow me if I went to like move to a different room. And I was like, that's just what they've never have. The dogs do that. Now I've got Arrow, I fully get it. He is literally attached to my hip. He's like on my ankles constantly. I'm surprised I haven't tripped over him and like broken my back more since. But yeah, I just love how much he loves me. Does that make sense? That sounds really weird to say, but I think he'd just do anything for me. He's like, the Borders are more independent and stubborn, whereas he loves me like more. I am his entire universe. You can see it in his little eyes. And I just love how enthusiastic, can't talk again, classic me. I love how enthusiastic he is to just try his best for me and do whatever I ask him. So if I had to choose, Spaniels. I wouldn't have another Border Terrier as much as I love them. I just think me and Arrow just vibe more. Does that make sense? Like, we just have that, like, the connection is a bit stronger, if that makes sense. So yeah, Spaniels. But Border Terriers will always have a place in my heart, obviously. Being my first dog was Earl. And then Ethel was, like, I'd say the dog that got me more of the reputation that I've got today, if that makes sense, with all the GB teams and stuff. So she set me off on that path. So I am eternally grateful for Border Terriers. But if I were to choose between them for the future, Spaniels. As far as would I have another Spaniel goes, yes, I think so. I have questioned it in the past, and I have said no in the past when people have asked me. I think Sally asked me at, I can't remember what show it was. And I actually said no, because I think I was having a day where Arrow was being like difficult. And I was like, no, you know, the nerves are too much, blah, blah. But I probably would, but I'd probably try a girl. Let me know if you've had this not problem, but if you've noticed a pattern where boys are more sensitive than girls. Again, that's just from my experience. Earl and Arrow versus Ethel, who did not give her. Like, she really didn't. Like, she just argued back at me. So I don't know if that's true or not, or just my circumstances. But yeah, so I probably would have another Spaniel, but a girl, just to see. You know, just to experience the difference. But I do love a Spaniel. Yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know. I've never had a crossbreed before, but I wouldn't be opposed to that either. Like I said, collie crosses are cool, Spaniel crosses are cool, anything like that, you know the drill. So yeah, unsure, but yeah, Spaniels are great. Amelia says, I spy a Christmas tree. Indeed, look at it. It's tiny, but it's great. I am someone who will put their Christmas decorations up on November 1st. I don't care. As soon as Halloween's over, it's Christmas. Fight me. Dare ya. Like, I love Christmas. It's my favourite time of the year, apart from being cold all the time. Like, I got up this morning and it was about 1 degree and I was like, what is happening? But still, yeah, Christmas is great. I need to add more lights here. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? It has like 5 lights on it. I have some more to add, but I just haven't yet. I got it today. I can't be arsed. Okay, Ash. My dog is the same. She loves agility with all her heart, but is retired. Still does bits of training in the garden. That is literally Ethel. If I brought her back out of retirement now, she would be like, yes, she would love it. For a Baby Bell, she was famous for getting Baby Bell. She'd do anything. I want to say she'd do anything for me, but it wasn't me. It was never me. It never will be, especially not with a Border Terrier. It was the Baby Bell. But yeah, I do miss running Ethel, to be honest. Sometimes I see like small 6'7s. I'm like, just miss her. And also she was so consistent, well, not in agility classes because of her contacts, but everything else, she always got the skills. You know, I could confidently go in thinking she's got all the skills, and as well knowing I'd beat her because she wasn't the fastest, but, you know, obviously I'm quite a fast runner, I like to think, not compared to Arrow, but I was always way ahead of Ethel. She was my comfy slippers in the end. So sometimes I do miss running her because I'm like, oh, it'd be nice just to blast around this with Ethel. Hi, Paulina, you came. My boy is more sensitive and anxious than my girls. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. I read it the other way around then. I was like, oh, no, I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. It's not just me then. Yeah. Interesting. How many girls do you have? So you have one boy, and how many girls do you have? But yeah, that's really interesting. So yeah, I probably would get a girl spaniel next. Amelia says, favourite Christmas-themed food? As if you're making me answer that. Whoa, there's so many. I'm not going to be traditional and be like turkey or Christmas pudding because that's boring. And I don't actually really like Christmas pudding. Like, I will eat it, but I'd rather have a chocolate log or something. Give me some examples because I'm struggling to think. Probably just your standard chocolate log. What else do you have? What is, like, because we always go out to a pub on Christmas and the food's like random, like there's so much on the menu. So I don't know what's like a Christmas food and what's just on their menu. Like this year I think I'm having duck and then I'm having creme brulee. Creme brulee is elite. Some people say it tastes like cold custard, but it's so good, okay? Just fight me if you want to. But yeah, I don't know, yeah. Just give me a few examples of Christmas themed food because I'm not sure, but gingerbread men are good as well, but it depends where you get them from. I do love gingerbread. And I like mince pies as well. Some people love, some people hate, but I do love a mince pie. So again, you know me, you're asking me to choose a favourite food out of a niche of foods. Like, I love every single food. Well, I don't love it, but I will eat and enjoy every single food pretty much. I will give you a £5 at the next show if someone can name a food that I will not like. It's impossible. No one can do it. What are they all getting for Christmas? I don't know. I have not decided that yet. I have done one. I've got one gift for someone for Christmas, and that's my mum, because she literally told me what she wanted and sent me the link. Apart from that, I've done no Christmas shopping and have no idea what I'm getting the dogs or anyone else for Christmas. I have a solid month. That's plenty of time. I have bought nothing in Black Friday. Nothing. Which is a first. I don't know why. I think it's because I decided I didn't need any more gym clothing. And also, I've asked for some stuff that I wanted for Christmas. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy it for myself yet, am I? If I'm hopefully getting it for Christmas. If you need some Christmas gift ideas for dogs or handlers, by the way, look at my last podcast episode. Some good things in there. Two, I can't read. Two times one Patterdale. One... Am I reading that right? 2 times 1 Patterdale, 1 Pat cross-border terrier. I'm confused. That makes... I don't understand. 2 times 1 Patterdale. I don't understand. Am I being stupid? So you have 1 Patterdale cross-border terrier, but I don't get the 2 times 1... Oh, so you have 2 Patterdales and 1 Patterdale times cross-border terrier. I think... Okay, I get it. Yeah. 2 Patterdales and 1 Patterdale Border Terrier. Okay, proper terrier then. Proper terrier fan. I love that. Can be snacks like snowballs, Lindt bears, mince pies, heroes. I know you love your snowballs, Amelia. I do love snowballs, but I haven't had them for ages. Like, I can't remember what they taste like. Lindt bears, Lindt. Lindt is just the best. I love Lindt so much. It's quality. However, if I was to choose a chocolate... Spy my advent calendar. Tony's is the best chocolate, okay? Tony's is just the best chocolate, and it's huge. Look at it. Oh, that's some toffee vodka, by the way. That's a face mask, but that is my Tony's advent calendar. The toffee vodka's not all for me, by the way. I'm taking it somewhere. Okay. But yeah, Tony's 100%. I know it's not Christmas, but chocolate's Christmas, right? And Tony's bangs. It is the best. It's expensive. It's like £3 for a little bar, but it's so good. But yes, Lindt bears, you are correct. Lindt bears slap. But my favourite traditional Christmas thing then, if I was to choose right now, is a mince pie with like thick double cream on it. That would be it. And that is what I really want right now. For my £5, Marmite. I love Marmite. Marmite is great. I love it. Absolutely love it. Marmite on toast is lovely. I also love Marmite flavoured crisps, Marmite flavoured Twiglets. I do love Marmite. It is good. Oh, my mum's joined. Oh, I've got loads more. Okay. I've run out of questions. What the heck? I've been going for half an hour straight with questions. Oh, I nearly kicked someone out. I'm sorry. Right, I didn't. I nearly did. I've run out of questions. I've been going for half an hour straight with questions, so I need more, please. But Amelia, you've made me really hungry. Like, I really want food now. I really want mince pies, and I really want Christmas food. And yeah, I ate like 2 hours ago, and I'm hungry already. I had an acai bowl 2 hours ago, and I'm still hungry. Where are you judging next year? I only have 2 appointments booked so far. I have Agility Nuts on the 6th of January at Oakridge Arena in Grantham. And then I have Agility Nuts again on the... Is it the 6th or 7th of April? 7th of April, because I have my training day at Unleashed Potential at Nikki's on the 6th of April. Yeah, so I have that on the 6th of April, and then on the 7th, which is a Sunday, I have judging at Agility Nuts, and that is literally 15 minutes from my house, so I couldn't not. I can't remember. Oak Hill Leisure, I think it is. I see Daisy join. Daisy, you'll know where I mean. Agility Nuts at Oak Hill Leisure, that's 15 minutes away from me. I think I said that right. Yeah. And that is, I only have two appointments booked so far for the year. I was invited to judge at Agility Club. I don't know if that's legal to say, but I've decided not to because I can only make the Saturday and Sunday, not the Friday. And Saturday's Champ and Sunday is Olympia and Cruft Singles, and I just want to do all of that. Like, I've got to prioritise my competing most of the time. And if I could make the Friday, I would have, because there's nothing I want to do on that day, but I can't. So I think we're just going to hotel it. I'm going to compete Saturday, Sunday, and just hotel it that night. I still can't fathom camping more, to be honest. Oh, wait. Yeah. The eyes and the peach, Paulina. That's the best inside joke there is. My favourite 2 emojis. I've forgotten 2 appointments, actually, Amelia. I'm so sorry. Whirlwind for Amelia. I'm judging at Whirlwind, but I can't remember the exact dates. Amelia, remind everyone. And then another one is Iconics May Madness for Neil, which is... why? I said I only have 2 booked in. I have 4. Yeah. So I have Whirlwind, which Amelia is going to remind you the dates because I forgot. And then Iconics May Madness in May. And that is for Neil, which is junior judges. So Neil wanted to do a Iconics with purely juniors judging, which I think is amazing because, as we know, junior judges have got some hate. Luckily, I haven't received too much hate. But... yeah, Neil wanted to just do like the future of agility judges. So it's just a show with all of us junior judges judging. So definitely come to that one. That will be fun. So yeah, I completely lied to you all. I've done that before. I'm so sorry. I have 4 appointments booked for next year. And there we go. Whirlwind is the 15th to 16th of June, says Amelia. So enter and I'll be judging. But yeah, those are the judging appointments I've got. Again, me and Demi tomorrow will be speaking more about... I say tomorrow, like you're going to see it. Not this Wednesday because it'll be the live, but the next Wednesday. You'll hear me and Demi. I'm just recording with Demi tomorrow. We'll be talking about junior judging and all the things that come with it. You guys have asked us some questions. Outdoor shows or indoor shows? Outdoor. Definitely outdoor. Mainly because I don't like competing when it's freezing, and I associate indoor shows with freezing my arse off, basically. We love a good summer show where it's not too hot, but it's outdoors and it's nice weather and you're getting a tan. I'm so upset. I'm going so pale. My watch tan line's gone. It's not good. But yeah, outdoor. Again, although the only good thing is with indoor shows is it doesn't matter about the weather. Like, you don't have to see that it's going to be rainy and like internally cry because you're like, I probably won't even end up running my dog, or I'm going to just be miserable walking around in my dry robe. So that is the only nice thing. Like, I do like an indoor show at a nice indoor venue. For example, the WO tryouts, back is mega. The only thing is that, again, I just associate indoor shows with being cold and wet. That's pretty much what it is. And outdoor shows with being sort of warm and a bit more comfortable and not having to wear like 17 layers. And I don't like running in loads of layers. But then stripping off is freezing, so I can't win. Whereas in the summer, I'm just in my shorts and my vest or something, and I've got free range of movement because I'm not wearing loads of layers. But then I'll complain when I'm sweating. So, a nice medium. But yeah, I'm gonna say outdoor if I had to choose. But there's nothing wrong with a nice indoor venue. And often at indoor venues like the back venue, there's stuff like a bar and a restaurant, and I just love that for me because alcohol and food after a day of agility can't go wrong. So yeah, if I had to choose, it'd be outdoor for the majority of reasons. But if it's nice weather, if it's not wet, if it's not too cold, then, I do like a nice indoor venue. But again, it's very much dependent on the actual venue. And also in outdoor venues, I don't want the grass to be up to my knees. Or like, do you know what I mean? So sometimes indoor venues actually have nicer ground. All depends on the venue, but I'm going to have to say outdoors. Do you know if there's a minimum age for judging? I'm 16 and want to start judging when I'm 17. Oh, I don't... Someone's asked me this before and I'm not sure. Should I Google it? I'll Google it on my laptop right now. It might be in the Kennel Club. I don't think there is. If anyone else who's watching knows if there is an age limit for judging agility, then do drop it in the comments. I'm going to Google it now. Age limit for judging agility. I'm going to put Kennel Club in because I feel like there's just more stuff on Kennel Club. Oh, no new judging appointments to award agility certificates for the first time will be considered once a judge has attained the age of 75 years. That's not what I asked, but that's interesting. It doesn't look like it. I don't think you do have to, I don't think there is a minimum age. You just can't be over 75. I don't think. No, I don't think there is because I'm pretty sure someone told me a story of like an 11-year-old judging or something, which is mega. So no, I don't think so. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think so. I think you can do it at any age. When are you 17? Because that's exciting. I'd probably start, if it's soon, I'd probably start looking for, what's it called? Judging like training weekends or whatever. What is it called? It's not a mentor. What's it called? Like a judging exam? It's not the exam, it's like the course. Yeah, judges course, that's it. Wow, I'm thick. I'd probably start looking now because I found it quite hard to find one that was in distance that I was willing to drive basically, and when I was free as well and not competing that weekend. So I did mine with Nick Jones for anyone wondering. And yeah, I've done so many judging appointments since. Like you get a bit of a dead period and you're like, oh, what if no one asked me to judge? And then it all just comes like thick and fast and you're like, oh my God, I've got to design 78 courses. And then that time Smarter Agility stopped like letting me log in and I had about 7 million courses to design in a week. I was like, oh, but I figured it out. I'm getting some questions in the questions bit and some in the comments, so bear with me. Cheese. Why, Amelia, have you just said cheese? I do, oh, cheese, as in a Christmas, oh no. Do you mean as in that's a Christmas food or do I like it? Because I love cheese, especially brie. Brie and cranberry and bacon panini from, it was Potato Crazy, but what is it now? There's a food truck at the agility shows. I think it might still be Potato Crazy and it does the most banging brie, cranberry and bacon panini. I could eat 77 of those. They are so good. But yeah, I do love cheese and I also love camembert. I love camembert. Camembert bites are back at Mackey's. I know that and I don't even work there anymore. Yes, I used to work at McDonald's. Right, Daisy says, winter shows are depressing. The Arena UK car park, a literal muddy lake last weekend. No, don't. It was so bad, honestly. I had my wellies with me, but I didn't want to judge in them, so I went in my boots and I was like, this was a bad idea. This is a very bad idea. And I also had wide leg jeans. So they needed a wash. They were dragging through the puddles. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's nothing wrong with Arena UK, but it's just you can't just stay indoors at an indoor show. Like, you have to park outside and then you have to walk back and forth. And it's like, no. So, yeah, it's just not a vibe. But it is quite close. Again, Arena UK is only half an hour from me. It's probably, like, in your back garden, Daisy, isn't it, actually? Did I just expose where you live? I might have done, sorry. Hello, Becca. I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. What was I talking about you about? Oh, yeah, about how you were surprised that my Border Terriers didn't follow me to every room in the house. And then I got Arrow and he did it. And I was like, oh, that's what dogs are meant to do. You will also know how good those brie, bacon and cranberry paninis are. Back in the Dog Vegas days. Oh, my God, does anyone remember Dog Vegas before COVID? The OG show where Ethel went grade 7. Amazing. But yeah, that's where I discovered that panini. Brie smells really bad. It does. To be fair, doesn't all cheese. All cheese does reek. Blue cheese, I actually don't dislike blue cheese. I said it. I'll eat blue cheese. I don't care that it's mouldy. Fight me. I'm 17 in June. I'm just studying for the online test. Amazing. Well, I think you get 3 attempts at the online test, but if you fail, you have to wait a week, I think. So, yeah. But they're pretty straightforward. Like I said, all the answers are in that fat booklet of, or document of rules and stuff for judges. But it just takes forever to, get through them. But anyway, yeah. So start looking now then. If you want to wait till you're 17, like I said, I don't think you have to. So you could just book one sooner if you want. But if you do want to wait till then, get one booked for in the summer. They're probably advertising. I don't know if there's a Facebook group for judging courses, actually. I'm not too sure. I don't think there is. Because I remember I struggled. I think I asked on Agility Net. If in doubt, ask on Agility Net if you're not terrified of everyone on there, because I kind of am. I could eat a whole block of brie in one sitting. Literally, it's so good. Yeah, literally, the Border Terriers are so independent and weird, and yeah. Oak Ridge Arena. Who remembers that as well for Dog Vegas? Yeah. Yes, that's it. In the Oak Ridge Arena Cafe, they also have brie and bacon paninis. It's just a good combo, isn't it? Brie, bacon, and cranberry. Cranberry's the best bit. Also, cranberry and turkey. Cranberry sauce and turkey, elite combo. Making me feel Christmassy. Bye, Becca. Aw, that's so cute. I actually just remembered about Oak Ridge Arena. I'm reminiscing in this live. Gonna get emotional. Amazing. All right, I've run out of questions again, so keep going, please. I'm just thinking about food now. I'm having curry for tea, so I'm excited to go eat that in 20 minutes or so. I've been talking for 45 minutes straight. I'm gonna wake up with absolutely no voice. I'm still curious if if there is a age limit for judging. And I'm still looking on my laptop while I wait for more questions to come in. Who have we got? We've got 6 people left. Not bad, not bad. Oh, my belly piercing's really hurting me at the moment. Ooh. Okay, so I've got up the Kennel Club Agility Regulations book. That's not the one I wanted. I want one about judging, please. It's probably not going to be in the Judge's Guide to Agility Equipment, is it? Send me more questions, guys. I love this. I might do this more regularly. This is a vibe. Ooh. Also, before I started the live recording, I nearly forgot to enable the microphone setting on the live recording and on the screen recording on my iPhone. So if I hadn't just twigged 2 minutes before I started this video, it would have all been useless because I would have gone to upload it for the podcast and there would be no sound. I would absolutely die. So kudos to me for remembering last minute as usual. Daisy says, random, but Oak Ridge Arena toilets were the nicest agility show toilets I've ever seen. Throwback. Yes. I think like proper nice horse places like that are. Like, I feel like a few people on this live might be horse people too. Because I feel like, I don't know if this is just me, but like agility people were once horse people. Does that make sense? I feel like that's how it is. I used to do horse riding back in the day and gave up to do agility because I'm not rich. I can't afford both. I can barely afford one. And agility, I think, is a bit cheaper than horse riding. And obviously keeping a horse is a lot compared to a dog. But anyway, I went off on a tangent. But yeah, I feel like horsey people and horse places are quite posh, if that makes sense. Maybe more the places than people. Don't want to sound offensive there. I don't think there's a lower age limit for judging. No, I genuinely don't think there is either. Now I'm thinking about it. Someone did tell me an 11-year-old judged. Horse girl, agility girl, pipeline is a real thing. It is. And that reminds me, if any of you follow me on TikTok, if you don't, you need to because I love my videos on TikTok. It is such a piss take. It's so funny. At Paws in Pursuit, as you know. But on TikTok, I made a video and it was me jumping about to the Bridget Mayer song, Hurricane, that trending sound. And it was like, oh, me when I walk a course and don't think that my dogs can do half of it or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And like, I attracted the entire equestrian community and they were all like, oh, do you mean horse? And I'm like, no, I mean dog. I wrote dog. What do you mean? And apparently horse people call horses, they call horses big dogs. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. I didn't mean that. So that was weird, but that just reminded me of it. Anyway, I feel like horse and dog people just collide, you know? It just is what it is. Ran out of questions again. More questions, please, guys. We've got 15 minutes left to get in your questions. I'll be doing another Q&A for anyone who didn't make this session. So if you've got any more questions that you don't want to ask right now for whatever reason, then there is going to be another opportunity. I'm going to give up looking for age limit on judging because I don't think there is one. We're just going to say there isn't one, as Daisy said. I've only got 4 people now. Can these 4 people ask me some questions? I'm really hungry after that conversation with Amelia, Jesus. I also remembered to charge my phone just before I recorded because I was on 30% and that wouldn't have been good. This live stream nearly went really wrong in so many different ways, didn't it? First I got stuck in traffic, then I nearly forgot to turn the mic on, and then my phone nearly died. Lovely stuff. Okay, keep the questions coming. Anything and everything I will answer. Don't mind me while I wait. I will just do some things on my laptop. Oh, another thing I could talk about is some of you may have seen or heard on my podcast episodes that my back is like, it's really bad. I basically did it in like 2 years ago. And when I got a PT that made me lift quite heavy weights, he didn't know, not his fault, it's fine. And my back was bad for a year. And then it flared up about a month ago, about a month into my new job as a social media executive. So I'm sat at a laptop all the time. And anyway, I went to an osteopath. And if you've got like dodgy muscles or anything, if you're an agility person and you've got like pain in muscles, go to an osteo. It was amazing. He gave me a sports massage and it like just fixed my, like, not fixed, but like it's so much better. It's crazy. He told me to start Pilates as well, so I'm gonna start that. So if, again, I do love the fitness of an agility handler side of things, so more to come. I'll tell you if Pilates helps too. It's a lot of core stability, isn't it? So it'll be, I suppose, good for agility, because when you change your directions all the time, you kind of need that, don't you? You kind of need to be stable at the core. But yeah, osteopath, highly recommend getting yourself a sports massage. Like, I'm not being funny. I know most of you definitely get your dogs like physioed, you know what I mean, massage, whatever. So do it for yourself, at least one. Like, I haven't done it, and I did it once, and I was like, oh my God, why have I only just started doing this? And I know it's because I had a problem, but even if you don't have a problem, like, it just does wonders. Who knew doing an Instagram live stream would be so stressful? I know, honestly. I mean, half of it's because I leave everything to the last minute, and, well, it's not my fault I was in traffic, but still. Could have left town earlier, couldn't I? But yeah, it's because I haven't done one in ages. I think I did one, like, when I was about 10, when it first came out, and then I haven't done one since. And then I thought, oh, I could do one for the podcast, couldn't I? That would be fun. I'm not going to watch this back, because it's going to be an hour long, and it's me just, like, verbal diarrheaing. Why have you got a mini Christmas tree up? What do you mean? What do you mean why? Because it's nearly December. It's nearly Christmas, Daisy. Look, do you love it? And I can't really fit, well, I could fit a big one, but we'll have a big one in the living room. Like, I don't feel the need to have a big fat one in my room, but I do want something Christmassy in here. I have decorated my shelves now. So in the intro and outro of this podcast, on Wednesday, you will see my new decorations, because I had my Halloween ones up way past Halloween. And I was recording a podcast and I thought, this is criminal that I've still got these up. But now I've got Christmas ones up. So, yes. So I don't know if you're saying that because you think it's too early to have Christmas decorations up, Daisy. But if that's so, I must disagree. Like I said earlier, November 1st. It's Christmas, isn't it? It's literally Christmas. But anyway, back to my back. Yeah. I've just started doing the gym again because I had a few weeks off weightlifting because my back flared up. But since I've had this massage, I've gone back to weightlifting. He said it wouldn't harm me to go back to weightlifting. A bit lighter. Again, I like to go nice and heavy, and it's not always great for my back. And he basically just said I'm very stiff and tight and inflexible. So I'm doing Pilates and more stretching and stuff like that. And getting my sports massages, and it's going to sort me out. Next week, I've had a lot of requests for this, and a lot of people interested. So I think next week, I'm going to film Monday to Sunday a week of workouts for me and Arrow. So obviously, there'll be more for me because I have a sort of wider workout split, if that makes sense. And Arrow's will just be his strength exercises and his like flexibility, mobility exercises and heat packing that we do after he's done agility. So if he does agility that day, we do that in the evening, and then obviously gets one full rest day. So he gets his strengthening exercises every day, but one day fully off everything. And then on the days where he does agility, he has his mobility exercises and stretches on the evening instead, after heat packing his weaker area, which is his knees. And yeah, so that is his routine, but obviously I'll film all of that for you. And then my workout split is legs and glutes Monday, then I do chest and back Tuesday, and then I have agility training Wednesday, but now started Pilates, I'm going to have to squeeze a session in there as well. So on Wednesday, I do another legs and glutes different. And then on Thursday, I do shoulders and arms. Then Friday is Pilates. I'm going to be going to Pilates classes at my gym, which is exciting. It looks really easy to me, but apparently it's really hard. So if anyone's done Pilates, please tell me if it's hard or easy. Because it looks easy, but it's apparently not. So that'll be fun. Tomorrow I'm going to try just doing a YouTube Pilates, because I went to do the class yesterday and the woman wasn't there. She was on holiday, which was rude, so I couldn't do it. So for this week, I'm going to have to do on YouTube, just on my bedroom floor, as one does. And then Saturday, Sunday is usually competing. Like next week, I'm competing on Saturday and judging on Sunday at Inspire. So obviously I won't work out then, but usually on the weekend, if I'm not doing agility, I will run one day and swim the other day maybe, or have a day off depending what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm going to be filming that for YouTube, so that is coming shortly. And then I'm also going to be doing, what was the other one? Oh, I've had a question, hang on. What Christmas advent calendar do you have if you have one? Important question, totally related to agility. Just before you came on, I discussed, look, it's right there, look. My Tony's advent calendar, it's huge. It's literally about this big. Oh, excuse me, I'm dying. But yeah, Tony's. Tony's is the best chocolate. No one can convince me otherwise, especially the dark variety. And yeah, so that is a very important question. I'm glad you asked. But I'm just going to have a look at the other YouTube video that I was going to do. If anyone has any more podcast episode topic suggestions, either solo, so just me, or guests you'd like to see on and what you'd like us to talk about, please do tell me. And YouTube videos as well. I'd like to get more into YouTube, but it's just time, isn't it? YouTube videos are a task, like filming and then editing and uploading. The upload process is ridiculous. I don't know why it takes so long. Although I do now have a Wi-Fi extender in my room, so it's all nice and fast now. So hopefully that'll speed up. But yeah, the other one is a week in the life of me and my dogs, basically, an agility competitor and a dog. So 2 YouTube videos in the pipelines, one filming this week, and then the next I'll probably do the next week. Obviously, it's nice to do them on a weekend where I am competing or judging or something, because that is most common. Like, it's rare I have a weekend off agility in some sense, if that makes sense. But yeah, 2 YouTube videos coming. And then up and coming podcast episodes, we've got, obviously, this is going to go live on Wednesday. And then the following Wednesday, we have Demi's episode about junior judging, course design, and smarter agility hacks, which I thought was interesting. Because smarter agility could be a right pain in the arse, can't it? And then I've got another exciting one coming up around Christmas time, but I'm not going to tell you what yet. And then loads of guest suggestions, like so many people to ask to podcast. So many. Like, it could last me over a year, probably. Okay, guys, you've got 6 minutes left to ask more questions. That has been the fastest hour ever. I'm still getting my notifications coming through. Stop distracting me. Okay. Ooh, I need a drink. Look, I've gone all warm from talking for so long. Still got 5 of you here. Don't be afraid to ask more questions, guys. I was going to say something else and I can't remember it now. Oh, I was talking about my back, wasn't I? But yeah, the osteo said that I need to basically spend more money. He said, buy a separate keyboard and mouse for my laptop and put my laptop up on something. So it's like, so I don't need to look down, I'm like this. And so I'm not like reaching forward to the keyboard, I can just do that. Because I have terrible posture. Like, if any of you have seen my posture at agility shows, it's really bad. Which is all to do with my tight muscles. But yeah, so we're working on it. But yeah, I love fitness and nutrition just as much as agility probably at this point. I'm a very sad girl without the gym. Very sad girl indeed. But yeah, last 5 minutes to get your questions in, guys. I'm actually going to put that in a comment just in case anyone missed it. Oh, it's really hard to type like this. Oh, no. I'm typing with one finger. I'm typing like my mum. Bosh. And I managed to do that with no typos. Go me. But yeah, I'm very sad without the gym. I was swimming for a while. Well, I couldn't weightlift and it was okay. I was going in the sauna afterwards. I do love the sauna, but I miss weightlifting. What would you recommend for a dog that goes a bit shut down whilst running at shows? Oh, been there, done that. This is my specialist subject, this is. Again, like I said earlier, work through it. I know it sounds harsh, but work through it. Just keep going to shows and working the dog through. This is what I did with Arrow, and eventually he realised there was nothing to worry about and nothing to be anxious about. So work through it is my main tip. Another one would be to, not just think about agility, think about the dog's confidence in life as a whole. So take your dog elsewhere to build their confidence. So as if you were socialising them from a puppy again, if that makes sense. So take them to public places, all sorts of places where they'll see lots of things going on, lots of stimulus, stuff like that, garden centres, parks, anything like that. In the middle of town, if you live in a town, like the city I live in is quite bustling, so, taking Arrow there is great for his confidence, and just get them used to dealing with life's chaos outside of an agility setting. So when they do go into an agility setting, they're already used to it. Because a lot of the time with our agility dogs, and again, I talked to Kamal about this in the episode with him recently, and it's not necessarily the agility they're nervous of, it's the environment, if that makes sense. And obviously they'll feel your nerves and stuff, so if you can try to keep calm, that's great as well, but I know it's hard. Again, same with you, just keep working through it with your dog and eventually you'll come out the other side. But just keep persevering. I know it's horrible, it's really hard. I remember bursting into tears when Arrow shut down in the ring for the first time, and I thought, great, can't do it, like we're not going to be able to do it, and now look where it is. So just keep working through it and take your dog to lots of places to build their confidence, do confidence building exercises around the ring. So even if you go to shows and literally don't compete, just go to show your dog that it's a fun time, play around the ring, stuff like that, and don't even compete. So there's no pressure, your dog's just getting used to the environment. Is it worth going around the rings even if the rings cause some overwhelm when not cueing? Yeah, I think so. Obviously, if your dog is in an absolute state, then you're going too fast too soon, if that makes sense. But if your dog's just a little bit anxious, a little bit wary, then yes, take them around the ring when you're not cueing. It's actually better when you're not cueing because, there's not the nerves of being about to run. It's more relaxed. Just sit by the ring. As long as your dog's not like reacting at the dogs in the ring, because that's not really fair. As long as the dog's, if it's just a bit nervous, yes, sit around the ring, play with it, do some trick training, stuff like that, and just get them used to the environment. Really, that's the main thing I can say. And for Arrow, it just came with experience. Like, just keep working through. You will come out the other side with time. It does take a while. I mean, Arrow's 4 and he's still got some nervous issues with the seesaw and stuff like that. So it's a journey, but it helps just really focus on building that confidence, and building the relationship between you and your dog as well, because if your dog, trusts you and has a really good relationship with you, they are going to trust you more and trust that you wouldn't put them in a worrying situation and that you're going to keep them safe. You are welcome. And that takes us to 7:15, which means it is the end of the Q&A. So thank you everyone who joined me today and asked questions. This will be going up on the podcast in a couple of weeks' time. And I think I'm going to do more of these because it was very much fun. But yeah, I will speak to you guys very shortly. Bye.
So that was the live Q&A. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you didn't make it, then I will be doing more, so don't even worry about it. But this podcast episode has been going on for plenty of time already, so I'm going to let you go and crack on with your day. If you made it through that whole whole live Q&A, well done. It was a long one. But yeah, no, really enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone that came, and I'll be doing more in the future. If you missed it and you have a question that you want to ask me, just DM me. Before I do another live Q&A, I'm always willing to hear from you. Keep sending me your podcast episode topic requests and guest requests as well, so I know what to keep giving you guys on these weekly episodes. And make sure to follow me on all of the social channels as usual. I will put them here on the YouTube video and down below in the description on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please leave the podcast a nice cheeky 5-star rating or review if you feel like it. That would be amazing. It really helps keep the podcast running. And obviously use my Huel link if you want any Huel ready to drink products as well. That also keeps the podcast running. You get amazing discount and some free goodies as well. So it really is a win-win-win situation. I am also filming a week in the life of an agility competitor and her dogs this week as we speak. So that will be going up in the next few weeks. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you don't miss that. And I'm also going to be doing a weekly workout split YouTube video. So it's going to be all my workouts through the week and arrows as well. So what I do with arrows as far as conditioning and stuff like that goes. So yeah, you really don't want to miss those. But I will see you all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. guys. See you later.